This is Michael, the host of the WDYM podcast. You ever hear an episode and want to give your 2 cents? Now you have that option with the text and talk. In each episode description up at the top, you see the option for text and talk. Hit that link, start texting, and I'll start talking. Be a part of the WDYM podcast and start texting and talking with me.
You're listening to the WDYM, the What Do You Mean podcast, Hamilton's #1 podcast. Now sit back and relax. Here's Hamilton's own Michael Gillespie.
See, listening to the intro, I never noticed how 80s the intro sounded. That is circa 1985 type intro music vibe. You know, I was like, man, I'm listening to the intro like, yo, that sounds straight from the 80s. Like, that's crazy to me. But either way, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome to the WDYM podcast. I'm your host, Michael Gillespie. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody is doing well. Today's episode, we're going a little old school as far as what we're doing today. We are doing a Reddit on Reddit. I haven't done one this season. I wanted to do one because of the effects of the Crystal Classic that we just had. Crystal Classic is a sleep-depriving event that we have here in Fairfield for show choir that requires almost 29, 30, 31 hours of consistency, staying on your feet, working with people, working with schools, and all that jazz. Just get off that. So sleep deprived. And I was like, yo, I got to do a podcast. Keep it going. Keep everything moving naturally. And what other thing to do than a Reddit on Reddit? So without further ado, I got 6 stories for you, and we're going to get straight into it with the first story titled, the first story from True Concern 1219. My wife, 34 female, is spiraling, and I, 36 male, am tired of covering for her. I need her to get her weight under control, but we've been down this road before, and it always eventually falls apart. How can I help her see I'm serious and salvage this? Now, this is a long read, so bear with me. Here we go. Before I start, I want to make one thing clear. I love my wife. She's the mother of my 2 children. She's intelligent, funny. I've always been and remain attracted to her. She's always been a heavier set when we first met. I've never had a problem with that except insofar. Now again, as I read, this is what I'm reading exactly word for word from the Reddit on Reddit. Insofar as it affects our family quality of life, I'll explain below. For some background, we have been married for 9 years, and she has steadily gained weight over the course of our marriage. This was particularly exacerbated by the difficult pregnancy, which was me followed by COVID lockdowns and her losing her long-term job. Things continued to get out of hand until early last year, when some incidents finally convinced her to see a doctor, get control of things. Her weight was well over 500 pounds, and her doctor prescribed some Zepbound and recommended she start seeing a therapist. This worked fairly well for a while, though she almost immediately quit therapy. And by the end of last summer, she had lost almost 20 pounds. She had also generally improved her outlook, gotten a part-time job, and was much more attractive. We loved taking walks together. Things took a turn for the worse in two ways. Last fall, first, my job switched insurance plans. One that didn't cover GLP. I don't know what that is. GLP -1s for weight loss. And second, a family member passed away pretty suddenly, which caused a lot of grief and stress. She was home from work for about a month for bereavement after the passing. And at the same time, her binge eating, which had been suppressed by Zepbound, returned with a fury. This blend into the holidays, which are obviously not good for anyone's waistline. And this year, she basically fallen back into her old habits. I don't know her current weight, but she definitely gained it back plus some. That's where the advice portion starts. I've had started adjusting my life in a lot of ways to accommodate her limitations, and the list grows longer each week. While no means exhaustive, this list includes she is unable to put her socks or shoes on or trim her toenails on her own. Always need help getting up from the sofa, which is pretty low, or playing with the kids that are on the floor. I have to drive her to work and the kids to school despite working from home myself because she is too big to safely fit behind the wheel. When friends invite us out, I have to make excuses to cancel plans and lie to them to avoid admitting things like, no, we can't come out because she can't stand out for too long. Our social life is in the tank. Our romantic life sucks. Basically, all dates are stay at home, take out, and watch a movie because she gets so anxious about restaurants, can't fit in movie theaters, and can't do most things that involve physical activity. Most weekdays, when she isn't working, she barely leaves bed, leaving me to work full time and to do all the child care at the same time once they're home from school. Grocery shopping is a nightmare because she can't really stay standing up long enough, but is too proud to roll around on one of those store scooters. So she stays in the car, calls me on my AirPods, and tells me what to get. And if I refuse her anything, suddenly I'm being manipulative or insulting her weight. The whole thing makes me feel like a drug dealer or something. Every week on Sunday, she basically hypes herself up about how this would be the week to turn everything around. But then she never changes anything. And if I remind her of what she said and try to curb her eating choices, I'm not being helpful. I'm honestly getting real sick of all this and feel close to snapping. To top everything off, my job is partially funded by federal grant money. So as of 2 weeks ago, I'm unemployed and looking for work. I can't handle everything that I'm being asked to do. And the stress is killing me to a point I frequently fantasize about running away just to book a plane and leave her to deal with things for a weekend. I would never actually do that, but it makes me feel like a terrible husband and father to even have those thoughts. I feel like I'm living in a loop of broken promises and plans every week. I don't know how to get it to stick. Obviously, I've been heavily considering the health insurance plan for whenever I look into work next, as GLP-1s have been the only thing that really helped so far. How can I show her how much I'm hurting without looking shallow or selfish? How can I get one of her diet attempts to stick while we wait for another opportunity to get the drugs, weight loss drugs to be specific? For the foreseeable future, I'm going to have to do extra because she can't physically help right now with a lot of things. I need a plan and an end in sight. I'm going to go nuts. So, True Concern 1219. What in the world are you going to do? Okay, so here we go. First one of the day. Truly Concerned 1219. You got yourself into this mess when you married her and you knew she was a little bit plus size. Now, you know, that's plus size. We talking 500 pounds. That's a lot. I mean, anything with 500, if it's money, that sounds like a lot. If it's Lego pieces, that sounds like a lot. 500 miles, that's a lot. So you knew what you were getting into when you signed up for it. And now it seems like she's gotten used to a life where she can dictate life to you. But again, you said some key things that should be triggering you. Like marriage. You are married. Marriage, for me, is a joining of two people become one. And right now, it's 80-20 her. She's up. You got your AirPods in shopping, and she's telling you what to get. What is she saying? Says, okay, we're gonna call you Truth Concern. Truth Concern. Get those Twinkies over there. Get them now. What is she saying in those AirPods? Hey, you know those ho-hos in the diet section? Go ahead, give me some of those. At one point, you have to let her know, like, look, this is not what I signed up for. I understand. You should understand. In a marriage, things are gonna get big, get small, go up, go down. Marriage is roller coaster, ups and downs, and everything. It's part of the plan. But at some point, you got to put your foot down and stand up. There's certain things that she can't. She can't even put her shoes on, huh? And the thing that concerns me the most, she said, she can't even trim them toenails, huh? If you laying in bed and she turns over and swipe, you could lose a leg because toenails grow and those are strong. So my brother, this is what you gotta do. One, you have to force life into her. You gotta go on walks. You gotta get salads. You gotta get vegetables. You gotta get water. Don't you buy no pop. Don't you bring no sugary things in the house. Don't you bring those chips in the house. You gotta really look. I'm here to help you because you need help. Because you're my significant other. And I care. And I'm letting you know straight up. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna take walks 3 times a week. 3 times a day. Whatever you set. And when you get home, you're gonna get you a nice, healthy, hearty salad with carrots, and hype it up. Carrots, cucumbers, croutons. And that's what we're eating. And guess what? We're going to have the nice, icest, coldest water with a lemon in it, right? Start there. Put your foot down and let the progress show. And you gotta be strong. You gotta be headstrong when you do this, because a lot of people, you can't change people unless they see that you mean it. Right? So start like that. Get that going that way. And don't buckle. Don't buckle. Because from what I could tell, I can't really. Like, her life will fall apart if you're not there, but it seems like you want to be there. You know what I'm saying? But you wrote the paragraph that long. So it seems like you want to be there. You have to set those goals for her and for you and be there for her. That's the thing. You have to do it that way. Do that. Give it 30 days and see if you can get some progress. But you have to be firm with that. You have to be firm with that. Good luck to you. True Concern, 1219. Boy, you said 500 pounds, bro. There's nothing wrong with liking things big and stuff. We all like things big. Big Mac. We don't go to McDonald's for a Little Mac or Mac Jr. But wow, hey, teach his own. Again, I ain't judging, but I'll give you some advice the best way I can. Topic number 2 by Unaccomplished Gear 736. I, 33 female, caught my dad, 63 male, cheating, ? All right, here we go. I went to my dad's house today while his wife, 58, and half-sister, 23, were away on a trip. I never had a mother, so he's the only parent I've ever had. ? Now, let me stop right there. What? Okay. I've always looked up to him. When I walk in, a woman I've never seen before was lounging on the couch wearing only an oversized shirt, which looked like his, with no pants, casually dyeing her hair. There were high heels tossed at the entrance. She didn't speak my language, stared at me in a halfway that felt bold, like I was the one intruding in my own home. I asked her who she was. Instead of giving me a normal response, she dodged the question and just said her name in English. No explanation, no attempt at basic manners. My dad, who's 63, walked in a few minutes later and introduced me to her in English. But she still didn't acknowledge me until he literally had to say hello to get her to react. Then she just got up barefoot and walked to the bathroom like she owned the place. He even asked if she wanted him to help dye the back of her hair. I pulled him aside and asked, Dad, who is she? He said, a friend of a friend. I asked, what friend? And he just threw out some random person's name, someone none of us ever heard of. When I asked why is she here, he gave me a half-assed story about her being a refugee that this supposed friend asked him to help. I asked him straight up if she is a cheese worker. Again, quick pause and explanation. This is a G show. You're going to have to substitute what the cheese really means. But if you know the show and you know Reddit on Reddit, you know what cheese is. And he laughed and said, no way. I asked, so is she staying here because she has nowhere to go? He immediately said, no, nothing like that. Just a favor for a friend. So then why is she here? But my dad has no connection to refugees and definitely not to young women like her. And even if that was somewhat true, why is she half naked in our house with freshly dyed hair? To make things even weirder, he called me at 11:30 p.m. last night asking if I was still at the house. I didn't think much about it at the time, but now it's obvious. He was checking to make sure I wasn't there. The whole thing made me sick. The way she was so comfortable, the way he talked to her, and the fact that she looked my age or younger. When I left, I said goodbye. She didn't say anything back. Just sat there like I was irrelevant. I was so disgusted that I texted my dad afterwards. Tell your quote-unquote friend that it's basic manners to say goodbye instead of ignoring me. I called my half-sister, who's 23, because at first I thought maybe it was one of her friends. But when I described what I saw, she was just as shocked as I was. She had no idea who this woman was. We talked on the phone and I nearly cried. We've always seen our dad as a good, quiet, humble man. This is just horrifying. For now, I asked her not to say anything to her mom until we know more. We don't know what to do. I don't know how to even look at him now. I really feel sad and disgusted. I guess I'm posting it just because to get support, sympathy. Because I feel like the only parent I have is gone. I feel so disgusted with him and wondering how to get past this situation. So, accomplished gear 736. I got a soundbite for you. Ready? Here you go.
My mom told me to tell you to mind your damn bitch.
Look here. Your dad is 63. I mean, from what you're telling me, his wife is 58 and your half sister is 23. Everybody is adults in the house, right? Do you not think his wife knows something or knows that this person is in the house or something like that? Do you really think your dad is out there running the streets with a young lady who's about your age at 33? That's weird. And for you to just be all heartbroken and, oh, my dad, what are you doing? And here you go.
My mom told me to tell you to mind your damn bitch.
He is grown. 63. He's grown. Leave him alone. Listen, he is obligated. He is married. 58-year-old wife. I mean, you 33-year-old female. Why are you all in your dad 63-year-old? Why are you in his business? Listen, this is why you just need to chill and just let him handle his thing. Even if he is playing like that, which he shouldn't, which I doubt it. I mean, come on, man. He's 63 and you said she's your age or younger. So let's just say hypothetically she's 30. Ain't no 30-year-old woman looking for that. Right? I mean, some things called common sense. Common sense has got to come into this situation where you know your dad ain't playing this, ain't doing this, right? Plus, this is your dad, right? So you should know your dad actions and behaviors because he's your dad. If your dad has no history of doing this, why is he doing it now? And again, with someone who is basically the age of his child, you think he's doing something? You think? I don't think so. I just think you need to mind your business, because especially you over his house. I just think you should mind your business on that one. I just think you reaching, you thinking, you assuming because mom and half sister were gone You think he doing dirty. Guess what? Not all men do dirt, right? And let alone if he was doing dirt, why would your butt be over there? Wouldn't you think he'd be better at this? But maybe because he's 63, he thought he was clear and he could just do whatever. I don't know. I think you're reaching. Again, just mind your business. Your dad old, bro. Just let it go like that. You know, don't assume that that's the case. Next story by Scrambled Egg 02. Here we go. Scrambled Egg 02. How do I, female, 22, enjoy cheese with other people when my ex, who was also male 22, was so much better? I, female 22, broke up with my ex, male 22, almost 2 years ago. The cheese was so indescribably good that I don't know that anyone else will ever be able to live up to it. It's always disappointing with other people, even ones that I have deep emotional connections, dated one for a year and genuinely really loved. I generally think it's because of his girth. I mean, I wasn't expecting this one. Generally think it's because of his baseball bat. Again, G show. And how, I should have reread this one. I just looked at the top and read it and then went from there. Start all over. I generally think it's because of his baseball bat and how just like strong he is. So I got manhandle. Not many other people could do that manhandling part, but of course can't change the baseball bat. How can I get over it? Is there something specific I can do that will make it better with other people? Or did my ex just ruin cheese for me forever? All right, Scrambled Egg 02. We got some problems here. All right, first off, you're 22, okay? You got time to get over this, right? So you can't, baseball bats are just that, baseball bats. It's how you swing the bat, okay? You gotta let these men know how you like to play baseball. In G show, people, I need you guys to think. I mean, there's nothing wrong with communication. It sounds like a communication issue with whoever you are seeing and dating and stuff like that. Is cheese ruined for you? You could be lactose intolerant. You could be. But you're not. You just got used to something because you're 22. You are young. You is a puppy. You just started. Don't do that to yourself. What you got to do is, one, maybe that's your type and you find that similar type. That's number one. Two, let them know the things you like. You ever play 20 questions? Maybe you should do that. Play some 20 questions and put out hints that, hey, I like to play baseball from time to time. And, that's what you like. Okay? And then normal guys go, oh, really? Okay. Let me take some notes. There's nothing wrong with communicating what you like and see if you can play baseball that way and have cheese together. That's what you should do. I think you should communicate, find your type, communicate that, hey, this is how you like to play baseball, and wish you nothing but the best. I mean, there ain't really nothing else I can say about that. It's just, you're 22. Quit acting like life is over because you've had things one way. There's multiple ways to crack an egg, Scrambled Egg 02. You see what I did there? So, yes, communicate and find what you like. I mean, that's basically how it goes to it. And if you can't find it, keep searching. You are 22. You are a puppy. You will find what you want. Next, my 24-year-old male ex, 21-year-old female owes me money, but we haven't spoken over a month. How do I get it back? This is from Thick Distribution 486. My ex was in bad debt over 4 months ago. I decided to pay it all off for her, and she said, I'll pay it back to you once I have enough. The last time we spoke about money, she said she was $1,500 in debt, and that was 2 months ago. We broke up since and ended on bad terms. She says she didn't want to talk to me again, and we haven't contacted in over a month. I'm currently in a financial situation, and you need your money back. But it seems like I won't be getting it back. How would I go about it? At least asking for it, it's possible for her to pay me back. Well, this is going to be short. You ain't getting your money back. You guys ended on bad terms, and you haven't talked in over a month. You know, the funny thing about money and friends, because I know about this experience, it doesn't go well. It doesn't blend well at all. No, despite how long the friendship is. And there's the thing about this one, y'all like to eat cheese together, right? Y'all just sharing cheese together. How about some provolone? Like, ooh, let me get some of that mozzarella. Ooh, that cheddar was real good. Y'all just sharing cheese, a platter of cheese. And she says she don't want to talk to you again. You know why? Because she knows in the back of her mind she owes you money. Friends, girlfriends, cheese lovers all together. You ain't getting this money back, player. You might as well kiss it goodbye. I know for a fact you ain't getting money. It's just that's what happens. Money and friends never mix. Unfortunately, despite the connection, the bond, and everything, money and friends, money and lovers don't mix. It's sad too. Not happening. That was short, easy, and straight to the point. You ain't getting a dime back, homie. Nice try. Next one from Demonic Dream. I, 30-year-old female, don't know what to do after a fight with my boyfriend, 48. Whoa, 48 male. My boyfriend's 48, of 6 years, and I, 30, argue over something minor, but the situation escalated quickly. He closed all the doors, not locking them, to prevent me from leaving the house because I wanted to get out of the situation. He spoke to me in an unacceptable tone, which unfortunately happens far too often when we argue. The argument originally started because our dog was excited to see him, ran through the flower bed, across the yard, and back into the house. My boyfriend was extremely upset, almost yelled at me. I told him I would clean it up even though nothing was actually dirty. First, I wanted to finish preparing our lunch. When I turned around, he accused me of rolling my eyes at him and started throwing various accusations my way. In response, I told him he could make his own food and that I was going to take the dog out for a walk. That's when the situation escalated. He blocked my way. I threatened to call my parents if he didn't let me leave immediately. Maybe it wasn't entirely fair of me to want to leave, but our arguments never lead anywhere and last for hours. He let me proceed. I put the leash on the dog, but when I wanted to leave, he closed all the doors again, grabbed me by the shoulder, and held me back. I repeatedly told him to let me go, until I ended up screaming at him and somehow managed to free myself from his grip. After walking the dog, I packed my things, took my dog with me, and drove to a friend's place. I wasn't ready to talk to him because I didn't feel safe. Since then, he's been texting me. Some messages are full of remorse, while others are calm and objective. He has apologized countless times and begged me to come back. So far, I haven't gone home. Unfortunately, we argue a lot about things. He wants me to do more around the house, work more so that he doesn't have to pay for everything, even though I can't work much due to health reasons. Yet, he also complains that when the house isn't clean enough. On top of that, we have issues with cheese from the very beginning. It's very important to him, but not to me, especially since I experienced some abuse as a child. We won't be able to find a solution for this problem, and I'm aware of the logical consequences. But at this point, I don't know what to do anymore. Right now, I want to go back. I don't want to go back, but the thought of breaking up with him doesn't feel right either. How do I deal with the best with this situation? Cue the music. Okay, so flags on the field. We have an 18-year difference in age. This is what I say. If there's an actual adult between the age gaps, you're too old or you're too young, depending on how you look at it. There's a human between you. You're 30 The man's 48. You need to find someone your age. This is a lose-lose situation because he feels that he has power over you, and he does. He's 18 years older than you. He has experienced a whole bunch of life while you're still experiencing life. And listen, I'm never a fan of animals. If the animal can't stay in the cage and just be chill with it, don't want it. Cats, dogs, hamsters, no. No. One, I'm allergic to cats and dogs and their dander. So I don't play like that. No dogs, no cats, no smoking. Those are the things that are flags for me. The way his mannerisms are to you are, in my advantage, is his advantage of life he has over you. He grabbed you by the shoulder. Things like that ain't part of a relationship. If anytime there is unnecessary physical interaction, it needs to be looked at. Grabbed you over the shoulder, didn't want you to leave, all those type of things, to me, are flags on the field. Penalties. Those are things that you need to be looked at. But it seemed like there was some talking points. If you've been together for 6 years and now, you're bringing up the abuse, the lactose intolerance, the cheese abuse that you have and everything, you've been together 6 years. So what's going on with that? Again, there's only so much I can read into without knowing everything. So what should you do? One, you should find you a man your age. Your age gap is too big for me, personally. Secondly, get rid of the dog. That's what's causing the problem. The dog. It ain't the relationship. It's the daggone dog. Get rid of it. Fido, look. It's either you or the human, and you're choosing the dog, apparently. And maybe if you just finished that sandwich, he would have been cool, but he might have been really hungry. Don't know. But yeah, I think you should find somebody more your age and go from there. The last one of the day. The last one of the day by Yanana05. Yanana05 says intimacy issues for a male 32 and a female of 28. How to fix this? They go on to say, me and my husband have been married for 5 years. We have a baby boy 2 years old now. Our intimacy was great before, but currently for the past months, the intimacy is gone. I was initiating before, and he doesn't to me. So I got tired and just stopped doing it. Hugs, kisses, cuddles. He doesn't give me those needs anymore. He just uses his phone while we have alone time together when baby is asleep. ? Same problem with our cheese life. He also doesn't initiate and keeps on promising that, for example, we will have cheese tonight. Turns out it doesn't happen. So my heart is broken by this. I am so drained. I don't feel loved and desired, and I feel insecure. I'm so curious why he doesn't look for it or miss it. It's been a month. Sometimes we have cheese 2 to 3 times a month, but the quality of the cheese is very bad. He won't play around. He would just lay side by side last minutes and he's done. I talked to him. He said he's just tired at work. I told him, how can you be tired? You only work half a day. And no reasons after that. I know he doesn't have any other woman on the side. I'm sure of it. I feel so devastated now. Please give me some advice. I know you will say go to counseling, but please give me some advice. Okay, cutie music. Okay, so married for 5 years and got the intimacy issues. He's not even trying and having cheese side by side. That's all weird to me. Is it weird to you guys? Okay, so this is what you do. This is what you do. One night, go all out, 100%. The negligee, the romantic mood, set the mood and everything. Get it all together to evaluate his interests, right? I mean, I'm talking about from the moment you guys wake up, text message, pictures, just hype hype this man up. Check the interest. Like, check the interest. If he's like, oh, shoot, we having some cheese tonight. Okay, macaroni and cheese. That's what we talking about. And if he doesn't match your energy, then you might need to look for something else. My question is, if he's working half days, why is he so tired? Like, he shouldn't be that tired. He should be energized, especially if you set him up like this. You set him up 100%. It's like, wait till you get home tonight. Or talk some crazy, like, when you get home, boy, that cheese is going to be on a spread platter with some ham. That's how you're going to pique the interest for you. If he's like, oh, shoot, I'm ready, then there's nothing wrong. You just got to communicate, say, look, this is what I want, blah, 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 and go on from there. If he does not match your energy, I don't know, man. I mean, because y'all married and got a kid and 2-year-old kid, and you said, what did you, let me find what he said. One, you said side by side. That's crazy to me. And then you said, hold on, let me read it. He just uses phone while we have alone time together and when the baby sleep. What you mean by that? Well, what do you mean? He got his phone out. That sounds weird. Is he looking up cheese recipes online? That needs to be looked at, because that's not the same as eating real cheese. I'm just saying. So yeah, evaluate the situation. He needs to match your energy and quit the side by side. Don't even. That's weird. We having cheese the regular way. We ain't having cheese no side by side. Who does that? I don't like that idea. That's terrible. So there you go. That is Reddit on Reddit. These people are crazy, man. I cannot fathom that some of this stuff is real. I don't believe it. I believe some of it's real and some of it's just stretched out, pulled to the extreme. But there you go. Well, that is the show. Well, thank you for tuning in. I don't even know what to say, man. People are crazy. People are absolute crazy. But continue to eat cheese, man. Continue to eat that cheese. I'm your host, Michael Gillespie of the WDYM. You guys have a great day. I am out, Girl Scout, Boy Scout. Peace out.